It's actions. Thank you. All right, ready?
Hey, Rachel, don't pay attention to that clock in there, it's way off.
Oh, it is way off, yeah, yeah.
I thought you guys were waiting for that.
No, I was worried about her. I thought she had a wreck or something because she's always early and.
No, I was
Driving right good this morning. So. All right, ready?
I guess.
Okay. Okay, if you guys want to stand and we'll say the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we need to elect the chair. We, yeah, so, I'll go ahead and start. I'll make a nomination for Lynn Inman to be the chair of the board.
I'll second.
All in favor, say
Yep, all in favor, say aye.
aye.
Sorry, it's kind of hard to do that and take notes at the same time.
Okay. All right, what we have just done here, what she was talking about, electing a chair, is IC Code 3658. The members of the county election board shall select one of the appointed members to serve as chairman, and the circuit court clerk shall serve as secretary of the board. Accompanying that, there is in IC Code 36519, the circuit court clerk can exercise the duties and powers of the board. And what this is, it's with the approval of the county election board that the clerk can exercise powers, perform duties imposed on the board whenever the facilities of the clerk's office makes it more reasonable and efficient for the clerk to do so. Any action taken by the clerk with the approval of the board is considered an action of the board. There are some things that are designated to the board, but it's a lot easier for her to do. Being the clerk, she's already there when we have to decide what a ballot looks like, make sure this is in order, that it's a whole lot easier for her to do it because she has the facilities, the access to it right there. So I would put this out that we approve that Rachel continue to do some of the duties that she has done, because it just makes it more feasible. And then when we come to the county election board meetings, as in the past, she has always let us know what she has done. And when she approves things like, for instance, the ballot and that, the way it's laid out and everything, she brings that and then we go over it again. But she has already done this, and it does make it easier for us. So I would, is the whole board in agreement with this, that we let Rachel continue?
Do we need a motion on that?
We can take a motion on,
Okay, I make a motion that Rachel continues her duties.
and I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we need to set dates for events coming up. We have some election board meetings that we need to conduct. One date I would like to it always helps to have a calendar. And then sometimes, if anybody's like me, you look at your calendar and you said, are you kidding me? I listened to an individual one day complain about their calendar. It was so busy. Then they stopped and looked at me real funny and they said, you know, I really shouldn't complain because I'm the one that sets his calendar. Anybody ever been there? All right. Okay. We need to set another date to review the complaint between Bradley DeHart and Sherry Flynn. Allow a good 2 weeks. That would make it the week of the 17th in June. Do we have any issues with those dates, or which date is better?
What day is that?
Well, it's the week of the 17th. Any of that week would be,
So I would prefer to do it later in the week, because I would just like, I mean, there's no set date or
Okay.
time frame that you have to give for subpoenas. But with the court system, we have to allow 10 days for service, so I like to do the
Okay.
same for that, just to,
so,
I mean, the 17th would be good, but I like to do a few extra just in case, and that does
how
include
about on
weekends.
Thursday, the 20th?
As far as I know, yeah, the 20th, okay.
If my pencil will work.
Okay, another one.
Oh, I've got ink pens and pencils. I just wanted a pencil so I could erase, but,
Oh,
all right.
What time?
Of a morning always seems to work best.
So we've always done them.
Make it that morning.
8:30? Or we want to like go
Do a
like
little bit later, maybe.
10?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to send out, today's the 6th, I want to send out subpoenas today then.
Okay.
Do we, basically, so am I going to send them out to everybody that came up here and spoke that day? Have them speak again?
No, only to those that were
Part of the
poll
complaint.
workers that day.
Works for me.
Only to poll workers that day.
Okay.
Um,
I agree.
okay. And I thought of something and my brain just went. Psh, psh. Okay.
Okay, that's
All right, we need to set a date to discuss all the rules, regulations, and everything regarding challenges, challengers, poll book holders, so that everybody is clear, so everyone understands. Were you able to contact Indianapolis about someone coming down for a
No.
date?
They have not responded to my email yet.
Okay. Might be better if we set a date and said, okay, you find somebody that's free that
And
day.
then they can come down and they can explain it, yeah. Well, I'll see them next week at conference.
Okay, you have a conference.
I'll stop one of them. Both directors will be there, both of their attorneys usually, so. And I will shoot for the attorney. I prefer one of them to come down, Matthew or Valerie.
Okay, what about the first week of July? Now, I know I couldn't on that Monday, but, and that might make it hard because that's 4th of July.
And,
I'm booked out of town the next 2 weeks.
okay, July 3rd's not good because that's the last day for candidates to fill vacancies, so.
Okay. Are you free that week?
Yeah,
Either that Tuesday or that
I said
Friday?
I could do Tuesday,
All right,
let's do that.
and that's gonna be,
July 2nd. Make that at 8:30 that morning?
Yeah, that's fine.
well,
Will that work? What you got?
I'm just thinking if one of them come down, that's gonna be 9:30 their time.
We could even make it at 9:30 or 10.
Let's,
It would be,
Or you wanna wait, you wanna make it later? It doesn't matter to me.
Let's do 10 because that's 11 their time. That way they don't have to get up super early and drive down.
Well, they don't think about us.
All right. In August, we usually have a meeting discussing, it's usually in August versus September, but it'd probably be good in August to how many workers, machines, verify polling stations, training dates, delivery, get that done in August.
I'm sorry, I'm really slow. Right,
That's,
hold on.
so, you didn't take shorthand.
No.
I did, but I forgot everything I learned.
Okay, what about August?
For how many workers that we'll need, because we will probably need extra workers, machines, verify polling stations, training dates, and delivery.
Let's see. So I get,
Well, if we did that in August and then in September, get the dates for the, do the training dates.
and also in August, we need to approve polling locations. I mean, we're not making any changes, but. I
Well,
mean,
that's why I had verified polling stations.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, may not have said it right. But those basic things that need taken care of. Just so we're not waiting for everything at the last
Yeah.
moment. Any date in August preferable?
Let's see.
We don't wanna have it during Schweitzer Fest,
No,
When is that?
the second week, isn't it?
4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, is that,
Okay,
7th, 8th, 9th.
No, it's the next
Okay.
week.
Yeah, it's that week.
okay, so
okay, what about even the week of the,
12th?
tw-
I don't have a calendar.
The week's completely open.
okay, I was thinking you said something.
Oh, no, Schweitzer Fest is this week.
Okay, all right, it would have to be the first of the week, I have to be out of town the last of the week.
Okay.
12, 13, or 14, any of those
I mean,
days?
That works, any of them works for me.
The 13th?
Oh, that's a bad day,
Why is that?
13th.
Oh,
Oh, well, it's not Friday, the 13th, so.
13th, okay.
make that one at 8:30?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, and then we will need one in September.
I'll probably get ballots
That's,
back sometime end of,
we got to get our absentee workers. We got to review all the training material. And then we have to review, what is it, the Can 9 for candidates?
I think so.
And that would be September.
Yeah, let's do it at least the second week because it'll either be the end of August, it all depends on microvote whenever they get to it, but it'll be the end of August, first part of September probably before I get the ballots to where we can review it and make sure.
What's the
No
dates the
mistakes.
ballots have to be done by?
I think
16?
September,
I thought it was like a Monday.
September 21st, if we have any absentee ballots by that day, which is a Saturday, so we always have them mailed out by Friday. If we have any absentee ballots, we have to mail out that day. So we for sure have to have the ballots. I usually get them like 2 weeks prior. So I predict I'll get the ballots first week of September. So I would,
And what did you say was going on the second week?
nothing,
Okay.
I don't think.
Would the second week be okay?
Fine.
Do it earlier in the week. Hold on.
When is public to?
Here, let me go back to my primary and I can see when. Okay, so they programmed the machines March 25th. So we'll actually get the ballots a lot sooner than that first week of September, I bet. I know it's hard to say because we work on their schedule on that, but
Well, on the public test, you don't know when that'll be
Mm-mm.
because they'll call you and give you a date.
Yeah,
I hope they give us more than 24 hours notice.
Well, they did it this yeah.
I mean, we
Well, the
might,
public test, but the other tests, they just,
we could always throw another meeting in there if the ballots would come before. So we have our August 13th meeting, so say we do September 9th or 10th. Maybe we might need to throw another one in there beforehand if the ballots would come sooner and we want to allow ourselves
When
more
is
time. there.
Labor Day?
second.
Oh, okay.
So tentatively, we'll put the 9th.
Yeah.
The 9th.
Let's do that. Monday, September 9th.
Mhm. All right. And then, well, we need one in,
October.
October.
We'll have to schedule
Yeah.
absentee board training and travel board training.
Right. We could do that at this September meeting. No. All right, early voting starts the 8th of October.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to have the names of our workers there.
And we'll
in
need to do
September.
training for the absentee board before September 20th because they gotta do the ballots and everything before that.
Okay,
and
that's
have
what I was
them sent
thinking.
So we could tack that training on with them September 9th.
That's what we did last year. I
Do
think
the
that would be a
meeting and
good
do the
idea.
training right after. Meeting at 8:30, training 9:30 for the,
Yeah. Are we
absentee
gonna do the worker, the absentee board
Yeah.
and
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 travel.
travel board, yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so CB meeting 8:30, training 9:30.
Okay. Right. In October,
I would say that first week before early voting starts, I would say first, second, third, fourth. Just any last minute things we need to go over, something beforehand.
we're gonna need to tie up any last minutes,
I'm
so.
sure there'll be poll worker changes and stuff like that.
Right,
So what date? October what? Have you decided?
not in October.
Or we have to have the public test. It has to be done by Thursday, October 3rd. So
We can
Could
do
we
that then.
we could, let's hold off on that meeting. We could,
Yeah.
after the public test is over.
Yeah.
Or I usually don't get to pick a time, but it's usually like 10 o'clock in the morning. So maybe we could do our
That's
meeting
the,
beforehand.
that's the last date for the public test, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but we still don't know when Mike Boat's
No.
gonna set the date.
Mm-mm. No, I won't know until probably first part of September. So we could
Uh,
hold off on the October
We can
meeting.
wait on scheduling that one.
Okay.
All righty. Okay. All right, for right now, this would be the meetings that we have scheduled through September to the 1st of October, and then we will schedule more later. All right, and then we also had on the agenda, we were going to be discussing poll watchers and regulations. The IC Code 368 and IC Code 369 covers the majority of these rules and regulations. The watchers can arrive at a polling station at 5:30 a.m. If they come before then, they are not allowed in the buildings. They do have to have credentials. IC Code 3683 that the identification code has to state the name of the individual as the appointed watcher, the name of the individual serving as a watcher, and the status of the individual as a watcher. Status is, are they a watcher for the candidate? Are they a watcher for the party? Are they a watcher for the media? What is their status? Who has appointed them? The name of the person who appointed the individual as a watcher. And if the individual has appointed as a watcher of a political party, the name of the political party. This is requirements that is to be on the ID that they are to take the credentials. And when they take the credentials, they are to keep them, and anytime during the day, if an official should ask, they are to show credentials that they are to be there. Now, in IC Code 3684, it gives powers and duties. It says that they enter the poll at least 30 minutes before opening of the polls and remain there throughout election day until all tabulations have been completed. They have the authority, they can inspect paper ballot boxes, ballot card voting systems, or electronic voting systems before voters have been cast, or before votes have been cast. They can look at it. Inspect it. As I always tell my children, you look with your eyes, not your hands. They can check to see. But it says they can inspect the work being done, but except when a precinct election officer enters a confidential login or password to obtain access to an electronic poll book or operate a voting system. When the clerks are putting the passwords and that in, that the watcher, step back, that's not to be watched. A watcher can enter and leave and re-enter the polls at any time on election day. They can witness the calling and recording of votes and any other proceedings of the precinct election officers in the performance of officials' duties. And they can receive a summary of the vote prepared under the various IC codes. They can receive a listing of the votes cast in that precinct. And something I noticed here that I'm sorry, I was not aware of before. They can accompany the inspector and judge in delivering the tabulating and election returns to the county election board by the most direct route. And they can stand there and be present when the inspector and the other judge turns over this material to the election board and to the officials here at the office. Now, one thing that I did become aware of, and I think this may have been some confusion on our part, is that we have allowed the watchers to go from precinct to precinct. And this is an error that has been because only in page 220 of the administrator's manual, the challenger or poll book holder may be assigned to multiple precincts. A watcher cannot be assigned to multiple precincts. They go to one precinct and they are there. It is only the challengers and poll book holders, and that's IC code 3671, or I'm sorry, that's under the 367. Now, watchers are allowed at the polling stations, but if there are challengers or poll book holders in IC 3671, there cannot be any more than one challenger or poll book holder at the precinct at a time. If there is a challenger or poll book holder there and another shows up, one's got to leave. There can be no more than one at a time. In the dispatch, I'm going to, they probably said it the best, so I'm going to read this. Watchers in the dispatch, for those of you who don't know, this is a monthly bulletin that is put out from Indianapolis to election board workers and those involved in elections. Watchers are individuals appointed by the D, R, and L parties to observe and not interfere certain election processes. Indiana state law authorizes party watchers for early in voting, absentee voting. The county chair may have up to 2 people designated as watchers at each early voting station, including the clerk's office and satellite voting stations. Central count absentee ballots on election day. The county chair may have 1 watcher for each central count team reviewing absentee ballots. Election day, non-vote center locations, which would be us because we're a non-vote center location. In this instance, the state and county chairs may have 1 watcher for each precinct in the county. Election day vote center locations. In this instance, the state and county chairs can have 1 watcher for each e-poll book deployed to each vote center on the number of e-poll books to be sent to each location according to their vote center plan, whichever is greater. I know you have this, I'll make you a copy of this so you don't have to write all this.
Oh, no, I got it. I'll just copy it from there.
On election day, a party watcher may enter the polling station as early as 5:30 a.m. and stay until work is complete after the polls close. A watcher may come and go from the site as they please. The watcher may also ask for a copy of the totals tape that is printed from the voting system as part of the closing procedures. A watcher may also follow the inspector and judge of the opposite political party to ensure materials are returned to the county election board and that they're turned in. Party watchers must have in writing a credential from their party chair that includes the status of the individual as an appointed watcher, the watcher's name of the county or state chair, and the name of the political party. That's IC code 3683. There is no requirement for the chair to file their list with the CEB or clerk ahead of election day. That's on the poll watchers. Poll workers and absentee voter boards at early voting sites or central count committees may request the watcher to show their credentials. If the watcher does not have the proper credentials, then they must leave the polling station. There is no mechanism in state law to allow for independents or for local office to have watchers in the November election. However, the county election board may issue watcher credentials to watchers for school board candidates as noted in IC 369. Additionally, media watchers are permitted under IC 3610. Only voters in the act of voting, a county chair or vice chair with credentials from the CEB, and certain individuals such as CEB members, watchers, challengers, poll book holders, or children accompanying a voter are authorized to be in the voting location. IC code 311815. Any unauthorized person entering the chute or voting area on election day or during early voting must not be permitted to stay. The CEB members should train their poll workers on this topic and ask them to contact the CEB immediately if there are issues. In contacting for watchers, in IC code 3686, a watcher. That's a watcher appointed under this chapter shall report any violation of the election laws that comes to the watcher's attention. When a watcher may see a problem, they are to first of all report to the inspector of the precinct. Number 2, county election board. Number 3, the prosecuting attorney. Watcher doesn't call everybody out there in the county. It specifically states who they can call. A watcher may not object to any other precinct election officer concerning an alleged violation of election laws unless the watcher has the prior consent of the inspector. Upon the unanimous vote of the entire membership of the county election board, a watcher who violates subsection B or engages in other disruptive action in the polls may be removed from the polls and have the watcher's credentials revoked. So when someone goes as a watcher, they go and they watch. It's not a time to catch up on all the local news from all your good buddies there. And I understand it's a small county, everybody knows everybody, but that's not the time. They are not to interfere, and there is specific criteria who they report to. And these watchers then can accompany to the judge and the inspector delivering the materials. And that seems to cover most of the regulations regarding watch. Any questions, ideas, thoughts?
Mm-mm.
Yes, ma'am.
Nope.
May we,
Yes, sir.
does it eliminate them from just that one polling station, or is it extended to the next election?
Okay, what,
If a watcher is,
Appointed,
So they had it for, say, they were a watcher for the primary. Is that good for the general? Is that what you're
yeah,
asking?
if they're watching for the primaries,
They'll have to get separate credentials for the general.
but can they then, even though they've heard in their responsibilities in the primary, does that eliminate them from serving again during the?
if they violate,
I heard.
we don't have anything on that.
I did not see anything there,
I have
but
not seen anything
hopefully
about
if
that.
someone has violated, I do sincerely hope that those in authority do not appoint them again. I mean, when someone has violated, it kind of sets a precedent.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know there are some that last time they were asked, please socialize it with everybody under the sun. You're supposed to be here to watch, not socialize. So, and when there is a watcher, if there is a problem, you're not calling everybody in the county. It not friends, family, or anybody else. You have to go to the inspector, you have to go to the election board or the prosecuting attorney.
I mean, if they've been threatening, and does it extend only to just that one election, or the next election they can?
Okay, you mean if they've been threatening?
Yes.
I've never read anything.
It doesn't say.
Hopefully they wouldn't be reappointed.
Well, that's why I said hopefully those in charge would have the integrity not to appoint a person again if they have violated these types of things.
Or
Hopefully.
another, they would do the same thing.
Right.
Right. When I spoke to, I've been on the phone quite a bit here lately.
Same.
And I have talked to the lawyer, Jerry Bonnet, the lawyer for the Secretary of State, that there are some things that the IC codes do not address. So we just have to rely on our integrity and honesty and these things. And this is why when anyone is appointed to any of these positions, whether it's to work in the polling station, whether it's to work as watcher, challenger, poll book holder, and all, that we look at people, and we want people that are going to be good people in those positions, is what we want.
They're there to run the election, not disturb and distract and cause a scene.
And,
Plain words.
and what we're talking about now is watchers. And, I do know some watchers have, like I said, it's been a social issue with them. And and everybody knows everybody that's, well, not everybody knows everybody, okay, but most of us know quite a few people. And so there is that temptation, hi, hello, how you doing? You know, how's the baby doing and all. But when you go as a watcher, that is a credentialed position that you are there and
To watch.
to watch. And the guidelines are, hush. You watch, yes.
So a poll watcher doesn't have to be actually at that poll that they vote at.
No, they don't have to be at the one they vote at.
How are they able to object to someone or bring up a suspicion if they don't know who's registered in that?
I don't, well, the poll book holder can get a list of the people in that precinct. But see, the watcher, though, they cannot even openly object. Because if they have to go to the inspector first or go to the inspector, county election board and prosecuting attorney, if they go to them, they're not confronting or raising an issue with anybody at the polling station. They could go and say this happened, or I suspect this happened. If somebody is wanting to object to someone, that really needs to be left to the challengers. And that is a subject that we will be discussing at another date, which we appointed that date. We want to go over all the rules, regulations, ins and outs of challengers. Challengers are different than watchers. And this, as I said, this was our confusion in that we confused the ability of the poll worker to go to various precincts with the watchers. But now we see that a watcher can't go from poll to poll. They go to one and they're there. They're there to watch. And the challengers we will deal with later.
Plus, we don't even have the poll book holders anymore.
They can appoint them if they
Well,
want.
they can't, but I mean, we haven't had poll book holders for, I think, since we dropped or went from the paper ballots to the
No, we haven't,
cards.
because I think I
We
was the
haven't had
last poll
any.
book holder.
Yeah, we haven't had any, yeah. That's
Years
just like
ago.
sheriffs. We don't have sheriffs anymore. We used to have a whole crowd in the voting. Because we'd have sheriffs, we had poll book holders, but then the poll book holders had to stay outside. Poll book holders wasn't allowed in the polls.
Now they
Oh, really?
Yeah, now they can,
Mhm.
but they didn't used to be. They had to stay outside. But we don't have either one now, so it makes no difference.
So,
If they want them, not sheriffs, so we don't have.
no, we don't have sheriffs.
But I think some precincts do have, or some counties do have sheriffs.
They do.
Any other comments regarding the regulations and that for poll watchers?
I don't have anything else.
Okay. All righty, if that's it, that is all that's on our agenda. I make a motion that we adjourn.
I second.
All righty, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much for coming. You have a wonderful day. Okay. If you have questions